And here's the thing, people still don't know how bad this bill was. People still don't know how bad this bill was. You know why? Because they haven't told them. And that hasn't affected them directly yet. No one's told them. The progressive press hasn't told them. Bernie Sanders hasn't told them. Certainly the squad hasn't told them. Elizabeth Warren hasn't told us. They still send emails saying all the stuff they got and saying what we have to do going forward. No. What is an opportunity to push for progress? Our huge crisis. When you have a crisis like we have right now, do you see what the corporations did? They immediately snapped in and did their shock doctrine of completely capturing give me $4 trillion so I can buy up the rest of our economy. You know what the progressives did? Nothing. They immediately, I got an email from Bernie Sanders the other day saying, we are not trying to pass Medicare for all at this time. That's for the future. Do you see how the disconnect? It's almost like the corporation is writing those emails. Why the fuck would you do that? Okay, I'm sorry to yell again. I'm going to stop. So today our movement faces a setback, but every single setback is an opportunity to push for progress. In a democracy, we the people still have the ability to create that society. Well, newsflash, we don't live in a democracy. That's gaslighting. We don't live in a democracy. If anything has been proven to us, we live in an oligarchy. We do live in an oligarchy. It's been proven by studies, and it's been reality. Did you see what they just did with the bailout? They took care of the oligarchs and screwed everybody else. That's how an oligarchy works. That's not how a democracy works. And then you voted with the oligarchs.
We're living in an aberrational time that the left has become so over-secularized in its conversation. When I was growing up, people like Martin Luther King, people like Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy talked about the soul of America and a contest for the soul of America.
Right.
It's only been in the last few decades that the left has become so over-secularized in its language. Traditionally, on the right, there has been a focus on issues of private morality.
Right.
But traditionally, on the left, there was a focus on issues of public morality. War and peace is a moral issue. How we tax the rich and make it so much easier for rich people to get richer and harder for everybody else to even make it, that's a moral issue. How we tax the rich and make it so much easier for rich people to get richer and harder for everybody else to even make it, that's a moral issue. The fact that we have millions of American children who go to school every day, chronically traumatized, in schools that don't even have the adequate school supplies with which to teach a child to read. And if that child cannot learn to read by the age of 8, the chances of high school graduation are drastically diminished and the chances of incarceration are drastically increased in the richest country in the world. That's a moral issue. This is not dangerous to discuss. People are saying I'm crazy and dangerous. I think what's dangerous and a little bit crazy is that we're not discussing it. And
let's discuss then one of the bigger issues that has really resonated with many people from the debates, and that is the issue in and around reparations.
yes.
Where Marianne Williamson at one point in the debate seemed like you were talking about, feelings and our stresses as human beings and how to evolve and how to find that center. When it came to reparations, you came with the numbers. You were like, here's what black people are owed, here's how much they're owed, here's how much black people should be paid by America. This is not a favor, this is repaying a debt. Why have you been so adamant about this issue? Because you've been in it from the beginning. This has been one of your core issues. Why?
I've been talking about this since my book, Healing the Soul of America, came out in 1997. When you said earlier, I seem to be balancing spiritual and material, it's not about balancing, it's about applying the spiritual to the material. It's about applying spiritual principle in a practical way. One of those spiritual principles is you can't have the future you want if you're not willing to clean up the past.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme, gimme, gimme. everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business, if you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, 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 push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped. Just, you know, I feel like, instead of us just being like, slavery's bad, slavery's down, bad whitey, bad whitey. I mean, all right, let's stop that. And everybody's smart enough to know that, I mean, we've been slighted. And we want ours. And I don't mean by like ours, 40 acres and a mule, because we're past that. But we need help. I mean, for us to be on our own 2 feet, us meaning youth or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it for us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help. Because we have been here, we have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there, and now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You know, you dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels, and they paid and everything, and they lending money to everybody except us.
But those reparations have gone far towards establishing reconciliation between Germany and the Jews of Europe. And in 1988, Ronald Reagan signed the American Civil Liberties Act, where we gave to every surviving prisoner of the Japanese internment camps in World War II between $20,000 and $22,000. So the idea of a people that has wronged another people giving financial restitution in acknowledgement of that wrong, in acknowledgement of a debt to be paid and a willingness to pay it, is not a fringe idea and should not be treated as such.
And it need to be before we all die, and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you got to pay your own karma. And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you. Because I feel like, you know, it's too much money here.
The consumer's not going to be where they were before. It's never going to be where it was before. I think people are scarred from this. I think it was a big wake-up call for a lot of people. A lot of people realized how unprepared they were, and this has unmasked this fake economy for many people. Many people are now realizing that no, the consumer was not strong. And you think all these jobs are going to come back. Well, if you look at our previous reports, and you probably heard, there's a lot of businesses that are closing for good, and the ones that are not closing are not going to be the same. The consumer is never going to be as strong as they were unless we start doing some sort of UBI where people are getting $3,000 each month or something crazy, which I'm not taking off the table, but already prices dropping in cars.
How we tax the rich and make it so much easier for rich people to get richer and harder for everybody else to even make it. That's a moral issue.